We're going over Lions observations in training camp today, and a lot to cover. So we're going to get into that. We're not going to do a whole lot of likes and stuff like that, so let's just get it started. Shout out to Detroit Lions Podcast, Jeff Risden over there, my man Chris. They are helping me out with this one here on the Lions practice. So, kudos to them. Check out Lions Wire. Check out Detroit Lions Podcast. They're awesome. They're friends of mine, and they do great work. And this is all coming from Jeff Risden, he's my guy right here. So, look, today's practice was extremely humid, and it was a tough one for the players, and we do got some updates. First off, when it comes to injury front, Brian Branch has returned from his full practice. He returned from the offseason surgery that he had. This was not walkthroughs. He was back there getting it done. So he is on the field. A huge shout-out to Brian Branch. Netane Muti was placed on injured reserve. He was the backup offensive lineman. Again, if you don't know, I didn't even think he was going to make the roster. John Kaminsky, he is injured for 6 months. I didn't really think he was on the back end of potentially making the roster. So from there, that really is a lot of the injury front. Sione Vaki got dinged up, but he came back in. Malcolm Rodriguez got dinged up. He came back in. Nothing significant. Dan Campbell is unhappy today. There was a lot of issues in regards to the Lions' practice of undisciplined play, such as false starts and all of that. And that's why I started the show with, today was a humid day, really humid. And I did yard work all day yesterday, very similar to the humidity today. I was hurting bad. I think I drank a bottle of water every 30 minutes. I was in rough shape. So Dan Campbell got on his players because some undisciplined play like false starts and that nature. And that's awesome that he got into them. But I kind of understand it, considering how hot it is out there. But good. That's what a coach is supposed to do. You get on the players when you need to, and that's exactly what you're supposed to do. I give him a pass. Dan Campbell's not. I love it. What do you think in the comments section? Do you give them a little bit of a pass right there? Y for yes and N for no. The kicking game was not so good today, as our kicker Jake Bates missed 3 of 4 field goals today, 50, 54-yarders, 7 of 12. He had a rough day today. Now, thank you to Jeff Risden. He talked about how the kickoff was different. They're trying different things today in regards to Jake Bates and the kickoff rules, but he struggled. So I do expect the Lions to bring in competition at kicker. It hasn't happened as of yet, but we haven't even started a single preseason game yet, so there's plenty of time. And again, just like with the rest of the bad players, I know it's kicking. You can say it's humid or hot, but between switching it up with some of the stances and the humidity, Jake Bates has been performed great to this point. I do believe there needs to be a competition, but I'm not off the bandwagon of Jake Bates. I don't think that he's fallen off a cliff or anything like that. He's going to have days like that. We just need to neglect them just a little bit more. Defense won the day, and this is awesome. First off, the first-string offense did score touchdowns that officially would have won the game. But all the praise is coming from the defense, all levels of the defense. Why is this really significant? This is significant because that was the problem for the Lions team since 2014 is defense. Aaron Glenn, our defense hasn't been good for 3 years, but we got a lot of young players, and we completely changed the secondary, and the defense has been shown out. Now, the last 3 days, to me, they have won the day, and this is amazing. So let's go through this here. Afutu Melifonwu is back to form. Okay, yeah, he had one bad play today, but he is back to form, negating Shane Zylstra, negating Brock Wright. Afutu Melifonwu, I've been saying this last year. This is not a fluke what happened at the end of the year. This is who he is. He has gotten over the thinking process of playing safety, and now he is at the reacting process. And we're seeing what this big body safety can do. Very fast. A player that is, in my opinion, going to continue to have success. Maurice Norris, undrafted as well, knocking the ball down. I don't think he makes the team, but maybe a practice squad there. Derek Barnes continues to have a very solid camp. Interception the other day of Jared Goff. He is beating on David Montgomery, and that is not an easy task. He also forced overthrows in coverage. Derek Barnes, his ascend from last year, from training camp till now, he's getting close to Pro Bowl status, is amazing. Shout out to Derek Barnes. And I love Jack Campbell, but if he continues to play like this, and he is the better, if he is the better of the two, he needs to be out there. But Jack Campbell's been great as well. And this bodes well for the future linebacking core when Alex Anzalone no longer is here, right? These are going to be your future, right? Kirby Joseph had a great game as well. 2 wins in coverage, beating Brock Wright, beating James Mitchell, who, that's, in all honesty, it's not that big because he hasn't had a good one. Then Sean McKeon had the best protection of the tight ends. And now, like Shane Zylstra, he was poor in tight ends. He's been the worst in blocking. That's not his game, right? He is a catching tight end. Sean McKeon is more the blocking. Brock Wright's more of the blocking. So we're hearing that when it comes to Shane, that he's not good at blocking. Oh, well, right? And it just talks about it right here. Jake Funk, he had a bad day. Doesn't matter. He's not making the team. Body count. Here's Zonovan Knight. Didn't practice in drills, but he was fine. He's the Juggs machine. I talked about the injuries to Sione Vaki and Malcolm Rodriguez. Here is an interesting play that's taking place. First off, in the comment section, let me know your thoughts so far of training camp. 1 out of 10. 1 being this has been bad, 10 being it's been great. I'm going with a 9.5. It's been a great training camp. I talked about Mitchell Agood. I talk about players stepping up when there's injuries. Nate Lynn, right now, is stepping up. He's taken second string reps. The undrafted rookie from William & Mary. He has been awesome so far. And this is something that we're going to watch in preseason here. We talked about who can replace John Kaminsky. I've been stressing within the organization who we have right now. Nate Lynn. Not only did he beat Giovanni Manu, not only did he beat Connor Galvin, he beat Colby Sorsdale, who is right now is the number 1 backup tackle. And it was by far. Him and Mitchell Agood are stepping up. This is a great problem to have right now. Great. If one of these guys or 2 of these guys can continue this type of work into preseason and into the regular season, we may have our rotation without having to bring anybody in. You could have a Mitchell Agood. You can have that going on for them right now. So that is where we got. And I think that the Detroit Lions are in a solid situation on this. Quick hits, really quick. Get in here, again, and Mitchell Agood. I've been telling you the defense was playing better, for sure. The first string offense continues to thrive when Jared Goff and St. Brown. This is going to happen. Carlton Davis, Taron all every once in a while is going to get beat. That happens because we're a great offense. Aiden Hutchinson beat it up on Sewell today. Awesome. Iron sharpening iron. Carlton Davis, great reps, staying with Jamison Williams, and that's hard to do. Before practice, talked about backing off his tackle. He focused on Colby Sorsdale as number 3. Johnson being praised. Connor Galvin playing as well. Dan Skipper's presence. Good backup. I think the greatest news here is Ennis Rakestraw continues to grow rapidly, and he had another solid day in practice today after having a really solid one the day before. The development of these players has been phenomenal. Shout out to Rakestraw. Awesome. And again, Friday is the last practice in Allen Park before the Lions travel because they go to New York to have the practice with the Giants. So they'll be over there, and then they'll have the preseason over there. Good. I love having combined practices with other teams. I think that's extremely important to have. I think it's vital, and this is what's going on. So far, when I look at training camp, and this is now going on over a week, this has been probably the best training camp that we have heard, at least in recent memory. Maybe you could talk about maybe in the 90s, right? We're talking about in recent memory. something that I can remember with the news generally is all good, and there is just not a lot of bad. There's just not. Injuries are going to happen to every team. That's always a bad thing. But we're talking about like standouts and player development. It just keeps going up. It just keeps going up. It's unreal. And this is the type of thing we like to see here. Folks, in the upcoming videos, we're going to be obviously talking about Lions, right? This is no joke. A lot of other individuals are going to be on Lions Nation. I'm waiting for the I's to be dotted and the T's to be crossed. It's not me. I'm waiting for it. Once that process is done, they can put content on here as well. That's what I want because it does help me out for sure. It absolutely does. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit that notification bell. We're going to be live. We're going to be making videos. We're going to be doing it all. Lions season is nearly here. And with that said, folks, adios.